Well, hello, my little Bumbabees, and welcome back to the Bumba.cast. That's right, it's me, your girl, Teresa Bumbaco, here on today's 51st. I don't know why I was doing it right to left. Do I know how to read? 51st episode. I was trying to do 51st for you guys because that's what it'll look like on camera. So I was technically doing it the right way for you, but not for me. So typical people pleaser behavior. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing as well as they can out there. Today is a big day for me because I put out my first paid Substack personal essay. I hope you guys go to thebumbacastpod.substack.com. It is paid, so you do have to pay to listen or read it. Sorry. Not really. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well as well as they can out there. Like I always say, we've got a jam-packed pop culture news episode for you. I've got 14 topics and everything is as crazy as the thing before it, if not crazier. So I really have nothing else to say. Today is January 19th. I've hung up my picture of Brendan and I because apparently it's 2016. I don't know. Somebody told me that. The internet is going crazy with the 2016 trend, and I didn't really do it the same way other people did because 2016 is actually, we just hit the 10-year anniversary of when Death of a Bachelor came out, and it was actually Brendan Urie's first Panic at the Disco record that he actually had gotten the full soul artistic control and talent of the band, the whole namesake. Literally in the back of the CD booklet, it says Panic at the Disco is : Brendan Urie. That's it. Death of the Bachelor was huge for him, and it was his first #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. So he and I are up here. We met 16 years. It'll be 16. It'll be 10 years from 2016 in June 19th, I believe it was. And then there's Craig and I down there, as we saw last week. So we love Brendan, we love Craig. And yeah, without further ado, happy January 2016 to all who celebrate. Happy 10 years to Death of a Bachelor. And let's get into it, shall we? All right. First up on the docket, of course, we're going to be talking about this. Spencer Pratt has officially announced his running for mayor of Los Angeles. You have no idea how proud I am of him. I mean, honestly, I don't care what you say. Yes. Was he a reality star? Yeah, that's a fact. Okay. Did you not like him on camera? Of course you didn't. He was doing his job. That was his job. He was paid to be a villain by MTV. And he has figured out over the years this helps to pay the bills. So yes, he's going to feed into that. He's going to go on TV shows that are going to paint him as such because it gets him paid. And guess what? It feeds his family. No, he's not going to just go run and get a regular, you're going to see him bagging groceries at Erewhon. Get fucking real. Get real, okay? You don't go from creating the Princes of Malibu with Brody Jenner and selling that show to Fox and then going on to become a household reality TV name from the hills. And then, whatever else you end up doing, you don't go to just normalcy after that. And you got me fucked up. You guys don't want to admit it to yourselves, but this is the truth of the matter. Everyone can sit there on their little keyboards and say oh, I would do this. No, you fucking wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't fucking do it. You wouldn't do it. You'd be doing everything that you possibly could to just make sure that you keep doing what you want to do. And that's why we got Heidi and Spencer on the T today. It's why we are repping today. We're repping to set. Okay? So, here we go. All right? So, Spencer sat down with Us Weekly recently, and Spencer will really just sit down and talk to anybody. I'm fingers crossed I get him on the pod this year. I know he would do it, but it's all about timing. And I know he's been so fucking busy the last year. I mean, honestly, this is my argument to Los Angeles County. Why wouldn't you want to vote someone in office to look after you and your land and your family and keeping the city and the county safe, that literally lost their own home and not just all their belongings in it, but like things you can't replace. Like I remember last January when he was on TikTok and he was like really going through it and he was just like posting everything, because it was getting attention and, it was helping to pay the bills. So he was doing something a lot of people don't even have within themselves to begin with, like sharing and exposing a side of their lives that like can be up for judgment by lovers, haters, and in-betweeners. You know what I'm saying? So he's really a very strong and vulnerable person as it is. Like he can just show you every aspect of his life. He doesn't care. His end goal is to make money to take care of his family. So I see him on TikTok and he's talking to people. He's replying to people's comments, and somebody said something like, it's just material items. Like you can, get new things, blah, 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 blah. And the video was him getting emotional, talking about how it wasn't just that. In the house, they did lose those things, but they had lost a couple of their dogs that year because they were getting older. I know Rainbow was one of them. They passed away. And they lost like their fur and their ashes and all that stuff. Like you don't know what they went through. It wasn't like their stuff was in the house and they couldn't retrieve it. Spencer and Heidi and them were able to pack up like all the really important things and bring them to Spencer's dad's house. And then the fire jumped and reached Spencer's parents' house and took their parents' house and all the belongings in the truck that he brought from the house over there. So imagine thinking you have all those things and then you lose them anyway. So like you can't replace those things. Like, I mean, really? It's not just, a fucking Gucci bag. Okay. It's their dog's fur that they never will have like a physical connection to their dog on earth again. Like think with your fucking brain and also your heart for a second. Okay. What are you, the fucking Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz? Like what the hell are you doing here? What's the end goal? Why are you attacking this man in the comments? It killed me when I saw that. So Spencer Pratt for the last year has not only been working tirelessly with his wife, Heidi, making sure that she stays on top of the charts, getting all these accolades, booking jobs, making money off of an album that they put all of their heart and soul and hard-earned money into 15, 20 years ago, okay? Millions of dollars. And to have it turn around 15, 20 years later into what it was after the fire, turning an awful tragedy into something that they can monetize off of. That is the spirit of Spidey, is what I call it. That is the Spidey energy. Okay. Ye talks about dragon energy. Well, Spidey energy is also not to be fucked with. If you want my honest opinion, I think Spidey energy is stronger than dragon energy. So someone get Ye on the phone and let him know, because that's what he needs. So Spencer has been promoting Heidi, being a great husband, PR manager for her, father to two beautiful, sweet little boys that every time I see them on video, they're just like, honestly, like, you like when you see Heidi and Spencer's kids, you're like, okay, this kind of makes me feel better about if I were to have children and raise them in a world. Like if these are the kids that they're growing up with, like I think I'd be kind of okay. It makes you like reconsider this world is too scary to have children theory, Those are the kind of boys that they're raising, which those are the kind of men we need in the world, right? And also working with the citizens of the Palisades and LA and, government officials, federal officials, meeting with them, figuring out what went wrong that day and going after who he needs to go after, Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass. And I don't see anybody in the comment section talking shit about Spencer doing anything about this problem going on in LA. Like, what are you doing to make the situation better? I don't see you doing anything. I see you on a fucking keyboard talking shit because you saw a clip of a reality show from 15 years ago and he's so good at what he does, he made you buy into the whole villain fucking shtick. Okay? So I could go on all day, but I read this article from Us Weekly. And I just wanted to go over a little bit about what's going on here. I wanted to talk about a few things that, they're in the article. Hopefully I won't go on forever. So let's start here. So here we go. Spencer was introduced to the world as Brody Jenner's best friend via Fox's short-lived Princes of Malibu, a reality show that LA native Pratt had developed and sold in his early 20s. 2 years later, in 2007, Pratt and Jenner infiltrated season 2 of MTV's The Hills, the Laguna Beach spinoff about a glamorous friend group in the Hollywood Hills, by dating Heidi Montag and Lauren Elsie Conrad. That's where Spencer cemented his place as a chaotic reality TV villain. And then most recently on, as we said, announcement on January 7th, he announced on the anniversary of the Palisades fire that claimed his and Heidi's home that he'd be running for mayor of Los Angeles. Community activism may be at the top of his mind these days, but Pratt is open about the fact that fame and money have driven most decisions he's made. From staging paparazzi shoots and faking divorce filings with Montag to appearing on shows like 2009's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So good. I was never thinking of it like a villain in a negative way, he tells us. Then things got away from him. Throughout the fame journey, it gets heightened, and then you're emotional and making emotional decisions. It goes sideways. Let me fix this. I'm like fucking like I can't even say. Here we go. I'm like, yeah. ADHD. Okay, so he points to a particularly low time after The Hills wrapped in 2010 when he and Montag lost touch with reality. Now listen to this. I didn't even know about this. I am a diehard Spidey fan, and I didn't know about this. I knew that there was the crystal thing going on, but I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. So let me read this to you guys. Spencer was quoted saying that he and Heidi were worrying about the Galactic Command and trying to fight evil. They moved to Costa Rica, where he was arrested for gun possession for a while. They lived in a state of suspicion. The next few years were populated by stints on shows like Celebrity, Wife Swap, and Marriage Boot Camp reality stars. Okay, first of all, men do not take you and have you run away to join the Galactic Command to fight forces of evil like they used to. I'm just saying. You know what? Did this change how I feel about Spidey at all? No, it made me love them even fucking more. I mean, and you know what? Call me crazy if you want to. I don't give a shit. Let's move on. And then in 2017 on Snapchat, he appeared as a carefree, funny new dad running a successful crystal business, obsessed with hummingbirds and always listening to Taylor Swift's Reputation. He's always, his shots of espresso. Look what you made me do. If you know, you know. So, and I have so many crystal purchases from that time. I mean, I've been with Spidey for years, In that little piece of time, everywhere I was going, people were like, I love your Snapchat. I love you, he recalls. I thought it was just the most Groundhog Day-esque boring content, but some people messaged to say they loved it because they knew exactly what was going to happen every day. That was the best time, energy-wise, financially. It was so good. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. If Spencer could just, post his hummingbird content and just, get paid for it all the time, that's what you'd see him doing. So, you people, out there, oh, he's an asshole. Well, he's getting paid to be an asshole. So, yeah, he's he's going to be an asshole on TV. Like, what is the confusion here? I don't. Are you okay? It's so confusing. It's giving GED, and not because like you had problems. Like it's just because you're dumb. So anyway, moving on. Good but short-lived, COVID shut down Pratt Daddy Crystals, and the 2025 Palisades fire claimed the Pratt home as well as his parents', where he and Montag lived with their sons Gunnar, 8, and Riker, 3. They pushed him into villain era 2.0. And only this time, enemy number 1, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Okay, whom he blames for the fires. Yeah. Pratt, Montag, and other Palisades residents are currently suing the city of Los Angeles and the LA Fire Department for mismanagement. The new memoir from Spencer, The Guy You Loved to Hate, Confessions from a Reality TV Villain, out on January 27th from Gallery Books. When you start reading and you really go through everything, it all makes sense how I lost the plot, he tells us about his journey. The process of writing and reflecting made me very upset, mad, and also appreciative that I am where I am. I could be dead. Yeah, no kidding. Running around fucking Costa Rica with guns, fucking fighting for the Galactic Command. What are you doing? God love him. For real. God love him. I really do. I mean, like, you know, you can't write this shit. Like, I mean, you really? How are we not monetizing off of this at every possible turn? Like, what? The industry hates him because he's just so real. That's why. That's why he hasn't been like fully welcomed into the fold, because they're like, oh God, like, you know, you just talk too much. Like, you can't say these things about the industry. And it's like, fuck you. We all know he's like me. He's like me, you know, just because he's saying it doesn't make him wrong, you know. He's just he's saying what everyone's thinking out loud, you know. I can relate.
Brittany, were you thinking it? No, you said it.
Anyway. He said, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. Pratt's villain origin story evolved out of the sense that he was using Montag when they were on the hills, that she was a damsel in distress, and that he was the big, bad, opportunistic wolf. He challenges that characterization. The hills didn't show Heidi's dating game. They didn't really show Heidi They didn't really show the Heidi. Why is my voice? The Tylenol is going to give you the autism, and then the worm in your brain is going to make you want to eat McDonald's all the time. And then when you're eating the McDonald's, you're going to want to drink the Diet Coke with the McDonald's. Anyway, here we go. Back to it. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, they didn't really show the Heidi I met, he said. If they had, it would have been so much more empowering for women because she wasn't ever a sucker or a victim. She was hip to the game and was like, I'm having fun. I don't care, which is, you know, that's what I got from Heidi. Pratt and Montag were a team, and falling out with Conrad made them feel like they had to play their part. Once there was the separation of Heidi and Lauren, we didn't have a choice. We have to be unlikable if you want to get the paycheck, he says. As in the other memoirs by Hills alums, including Audrina Patridge and Pratt's sister Stephanie, Confessions details the post-production tools used on the show to reframe and recreate scenes for maximum drama, including a term called frankenbiting, which means patching together disparate audio clips and automated dialogue replacement. Okay? He says, for example, that he and Montag filmed the notorious season 2 scene in which he kicks Montag out of his car for refusing to move in with him 12 times. Also, they were already living together. So, I mean, you know. Which doesn't mean he was an angel or is one now, it says here in the article. But between seasons 2 and 3, Montag got a call from a panicked Conrad about rumors that her ex-boyfriend Jason Waller was shopping an apparent sex tape around. A giddy, eavesdropping Pratt texted celebrity blogger Perez Hilton about it, hoping Waller would be the new bad guy. Asked whether he would leak the sex tape rumor today, Pratt says 100%. But with a better strategy. Could I have gone to NBC News? I love him. He's still doing it. He's doing it in the article. Some fans may be disappointed that he doesn't express more regret. Others might find it refreshing. For Pratt, he's just a product of his environment. He says, I'll play in the gutter. The thing about reality TV and this type of fame is it's not classy. I'm being judged as if I'm Timmy Chalamet. He says his tier of what's right and what's wrong is distorted. For a time, Pratt could manage the fame, saying he and Montag didn't even watch The Hills. I was in a fantasy land of what we did and what we ended up doing on TV, post Frankenbiting and editing. He says, pointing out the pair weren't even asked to be guests on The Hills, the after show. We would have been like, no, that's not real. There's a reason they didn't ask them on there, because they knew Spencer would have been like, what are you talking about? This is not what happened. So yeah, that's why Hollywood won't accept him either, because they're like, you'll just say everything. Like, you break the fourth wall of the industry too much. Like, that's the problem. That's the problem. But you know what? It's not a problem. What the fuck is that? It's not a problem, though, because I think that's what people crave. People crave the transparency, the authenticity. They want you to be real. They don't want you to be like fucking faking it. Like, no, I don't want to see a get ready with me of you about to go on your yacht. That's just not relatable. How about we start filming get ready with me to go to the fucking therapist? Get ready with me to go to EDMR or EMDR or whatever the fuck it is, therapy. Get ready with me to go no contact with my toxic family. Let's get real in here, okay? Let's bring it up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the husband.
For 3 years.
Oh, wait, excuse me? Did you just say let's talk about the husband?
He does acknowledge... Oh, never mind. Skipping a part. Pratt and Montag's final episodes of The Hills covered Montag's 2009 plastic surgeries. She famously had 10 procedures in one day. And Pratt says, if anything, I watch it and I'm like, man, I should have been crazier. He does acknowledge that the pair's post-Hills paranoid period was not good. Jesus Christ, who wrote this? We were like space cadets, thinking we were trying to help the universe and the multiverse, way past spiritual. He reveals the twosome had a spiritual bodyguard who encouraged them to microdose LSD and other hallucinogens for protection. He now says, you just can't lose touch with reality because you still have to live in the flesh and be a normal citizen. We're not in spaceships. I'm aware of balance now. I love him. I love him. He admits that he would have even left Montag at the altar for the show if she were on board and the price was right. So listen, okay. Yeah, yeah, really. And then this is what I loved. He says, I think every single person in the entertainment business thinks exactly like me. They just learn to not say it because it's not appropriate. And there it is, folks. And there it is. So, there's really not much else to talk about in the article. I did want to cover like most of those things, but then I do want to get into the part of him talking about his mayoral run. So here we go. So he also mentioned that he doesn't worry about how his kids will be affected by his reality TV return. He says he'd tell his sons, I'm glad you like the new house we were able to rebuild. It has a little plaque in the front of it. This house was built by villainous behavior on television. God love him. God bless him. If, in fact, he'd prefer the low-stakes drama of The Hills to his recent reality, wherein he takes meetings with federal officials to discuss the city's and state's fire negligence. He describes his community work as too real. I want to get back on a reality show that is completely fake and play pretend so badly. Although Pratt writes that fame can be an expensive loneliness, the fires exposed a new layer of isolation. It's worse than ever before because I still need to use fame to rebuild what I got to. He says, I'd be at peace if my insurance hadn't dropped us and I was rebuilding our house right now. I feel the most untethered to anything. The only things left are my kids and Heidi and my parents, but they're such a wreck that you can't call my mom without her crying. I am in an abyss. He optimistically views this era, potentially the beginning of his political one, as an opportunity. The only way I see God letting my parents' house burn down and my house burn down is that God knows it's the only way to turn me against a system that lets this happen to tens of thousands of people. In a best-case scenario, I would have helped at least 10,000 people to get 70% of what they got taken from them. That would be poetic. The ending that I am hoping for is justice for the people of Los Angeles. It's the same reason why we filed the lawsuit, to get the truth. Winning the mayor's race will be a victory for truth and transparency, which is what I've been fighting for this whole year. The end goal is the same, to shine a light into the darkness. We love you, Mayor Pratt, and I wish you nothing but the best. You're going to do it. You're going to fucking win. Karen Bass, look out, bitch. That is not a threat. That is just, he's going to win. So anyway, but yes, I'm so proud of Spencer, what he's overcome. Like I said, I mean, him going through what he's gone through and then still being able to like take these meetings, fight for the people of Los Angeles, not just for himself, looking into the negligence going on. Is this not somebody you would want for mayor? I mean, like, that's just common sense. That's just common sense. And then there's people out there that are like, oh, well, he's MAGA. No. Literally, if you can find any kind of proof of any of that, I'd be impressed, because it'd be fucking AI generated, because he has never gotten involved or vocal about politics ever. He is not MAGA. He's not Democrat or Republican. People pull up these photos of Spidey from like 2005 of like them with Trump, and it's like, yeah, you can find pretty much a picture of him. Like, you can pretty much find a picture of Trump with anybody in 2005. Trump was still a Democrat in 2005. Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Look it the fuck up. Trump was a Democrat, okay? He's playing you all right? He's only a Republican now, and, you know, not even really Republican MAGA. I think there's like a difference. There's a difference because people used to go on Fox and everything, and it used to not look like something crazy. It was like, oh, this person's on Fox News, they must be a psychopath. It wasn't like that. Like, I mean, people could go on Fox News and promote things that they were like putting out, like movie or comedy special wise, and it was like no big deal. It was not a political affiliation, and even if it was, being Republican wasn't looked at like a fucking, you know, leprosy or whatever the hell. So, you know, just understand, you know, it's all division, and it's all about money and greed and whatever else, and throwing parties where they can dress up like dogs. Yeah, look it up. 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 Let's go on to the next one, because we've talked about Spidey for quite a while. Now we got to talk about Hilary Duff not being able to fucking grow up. All right, here we go.
Let's not talk about what you don't want out.
You know what? Let me tell you
scary,
something.
vicious human being.
Don't touch
Just
my
saying.
husband ever.
Just saying.
Don't you
ever. You don't want out for everybody to know. You better watch what you talk about me, or everybody will know.
Never
Everybody
go
will
near
know.
my husband.
Everybody will know.
You understand that?
Everybody will know.
After my
Everybody will know what you don't want.
All right. Okay. So next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Hilary Duff. And no, we're not talking about the toxic mom group drama bullshit, because I don't give a fuck. I'm going to give you a little insight to something I've learned along the way in my 33 years of life. If it is a group of 3 or more women, it is toxic by default. It doesn't matter if it's a mom group, whatever, who's in it. It's toxic, especially if they like, you know, get matching outfits for like just random weekend get-togethers, or like, you know, just randomly are like, oh, let's make mimosas on, you know, like every Sunday. Like, if that's what's going, it's toxic. It's toxic, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a mom group or not. It doesn't matter. I don't care. And, you know, I'm not going to talk about this mom group shit. You know, people are saying that Ashley Tisdale is like a Zionist or whatever. And if that's true, then I don't give a shit what happened to her one way or another. But, you know, understand this. She probably was right. She probably was fucking, you know, in a toxic mom group, because I saw pictures of that shit and they were wearing matching clothes in a picture. So, I mean, you know, I can only say what I know. So anyway. The reason I'm talking about this is because I had to unfollow Hilary Duff on Instagram because Hilary Duff is now putting out new music for the first time in, I don't know, like 11 years or something like that because her husband doesn't make enough money as a producer, writer, whatever the fuck he does, I guess, and, trying to have him trying to sue Zed didn't really work out for him very well, so here he is. And so now she is also pushing 39 years old. So she's like feeling like she's got to prove herself a little bit, make sure people know that she's still with it. She may be perimenopausal, but she's still out here. She's still got the WAP. We still saying that? I don't know. Anyway, so she posted this video of herself on Instagram dancing and lip syncing to an unreleased song from her new upcoming record. And this little hair of mine. I had to unfollow her on Instagram because I saw this video and she's lip syncing to the song. And these are the lyrics. We will play the clip in just a moment and I will react to it with you guys. But here we go. I only want the beginning. I don't want the end. I want the part where you say, God damn, back of a dive bar giving you head, then sneak home late, wake up your roommates. I want the highlights, 10 out of 10, the butterflies from holding your hand before we swept us under the bed and we became practically roommates. I'm touching myself by the front door, but you can't even look my way no more. She's got like a 13-year-old son. It's not about you anymore. It's not about you anymore. And it wasn't even just the lyrics that made me unfollow her on Instagram. It was because it sounds exactly like a Taylor Swift song. Like, I mean, honestly, if I closed my eyes, I see you for what you truly are.
And when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly.
And they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
If I close my eyes, truly, Taylor Swift. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, all right, this is what we're doing now. Got it. So, I'm not a fan. I'm over it. I think it's weird. I think it's creepy. I'm not, and you know what? And this isn't just coming from me as like an outsider who has like passively been a fan of Hilary Duff. Passive fan. Not like, I like Come Clean, Like, I was once a passive fan. Not anymore. I'm just like, well, she's there, I guess. So, and people were, like, devastated over the Lizzie McGuire thing that didn't get made. And I was like, yeah, whatever. On to the next, I guess. Are we going to do another Gilmore Girls? What's going on with that? That's where I was at that point in time. So, I don't know. I think this isn't it. I think it's weird. I think it's creepy. You never made music like this before. Why start now? I mean, you were in that like weird little club era kinda. This hair, I have to fix it. Like kind of in the club era. There we go. Kind of in the club era, I guess you could say. Like, there was that music video. What was it? Am I thinking of Lindsay Lohan? I don't know. So there's somebody, okay? She had her little Christina Dirty era, like for Hilary Duff, like a Disney rated version of it. But like, I don't think this is the way. I don't think this is the way. So, Hilary Duff, no more, no mas. I'm not a fan. And I don't think you should be doing this, girl. I think this is a mistake. I think this is a big mistake. But like I said, it's not just coming from me. I saw fans of hers like that were replying to my thread about it that were like, I literally pre-ordered the album and canceled the order after she heard that song. I was like, there it is, right there. There it is right there. It's not just me. Nobody wants to hear that shit. I don't even want to see it on a show. People are talking about this heated rivalry show. I can't watch it. You know why? Because it's just going to be fucking the whole time. I don't want to see anybody fucking at all. At all. Straight, gay, non-binary, whatever, asexual with themselves, if that even is a thing. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything. Cut two.
Want the part where you say goddamn. Look at the dive bar giving you head and sneak home late. Wake up your roommates.
Cut two. Thank you for coming. coming to my TED Talk. All right, we're on to the next one. All right. So I know this is already turning into a long episode. We're only on story 3, so I'll try to make this fast. But Kristen Stewart pissed me off this week because she's talking to press at the Palm Springs International Film Festival Creative Impact Awards. And she's talking about how she would love to make a remake of Twilight.
The dumbest bitch.
Can we stop? Stop talking about this in the press. Don't fucking let them get their dicks hard for this at the studio. Don't even put it out there, Kristen Stewart. Don't even fucking put it out there. Because that's all we need. It's all we need. And we're going to get a remake. Her argument was that, if she had a huge budget and a bunch of love and support, she's like, I don't know, I would love to readapt. Would you? This is on your fucking agenda right now? Didn't you just make your directorial debut and the first thing you want to do is run back to the first thing that got you huge? Isn't that backsliding a little bit? You're not going to redo it and star in it. It's not like you're going to give yourself a better look. Let it go. Let it go. Move on. You're a lesbian now. You're not even in the same phase of life. Why are you returning to these stories? Why must they insist on pissing me off in Hollywood? Why? Anyway, that's all I really had to say about that. I mean, it really is nothing else. I mean, she just goes above and beyond about, how, she just, how much she loves the individual directors and how well they did with, each one. I'm just like, oh, great. What does this do for me? I swear to God, she fucking better not. She fucking better not. I'm dead ass. She better just fucking sit down. Anyway, her directorial debut for the movie, the chronology? Yeah, chronology of water. No, it's not a fucking Avatar sequel, so enjoy, On to the next one, I say. The next one that we're going to be talking about on the docket is Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. Yes, their divorce has finally been finalized. Not really finally. I don't know why I said that, but I mean, it took 3 months. That was it. That's why I think, I'm really getting sick of the hair being down. I gotta fluff it up. Okay. I'm surprised it only took 3 months. So I'm curious to kind of know what transpired, what caused the divorce at this point, because it was so quick. There was no fight. They were like, what's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. As far as the kids go, Nicole Kidman is getting the kids for 300 and some random 306 days of the year, and Keith Urban's only going to get the girls for 59 days of the year because they have a 17 and a 14-year-old, so they're still minors. So he's only going to get them for 59 days out of the year, every other weekend. I'm like, I think I'm going to say it. Should I say it? I don't know. We'll wait. We're not going to say it. So anyway, yeah. That's basically it. They were like, whatever, we parted our ways, and then the the end of the E! News article hit you with a fucking gut punch here. They're just basically like, oh yeah, she talked about in 2019 that she fell for him after they had met in 2005 at a gala in Los Angeles. She said it was pretty intense. I believed by that point he was the love of my life. The way she kind of said it, though, kind of like she didn't really believe it anymore. But that was in 2019, so this is a while. So maybe it was just on the downslide for a minute, and we had no idea. As we know, Nicole Kidman previously was married to Tom Cruise. She has 2 kids with him, Isabella and Connor, 32 and 30. She adds in the article from 2019 with People, maybe because I'm deeply romantic or I'm an actress or I have strong faith as well, but I've just believed, oh, okay, here he is. I can fucking relate to that every time I'm literally Joel Barish. I'm a mix of Joel Barish and Clementine Krasinski from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Joel's like, why do I fall in love with every woman who shows me the least bit of attention? Yeah, pretty much. As long as I find you attractive enough, I guess. Or the vibe, whatever the vibe may be. Good God. Anyway, so also Keith Urban addressed how much he loved Nicole Kidman in an interview with Dax Shepard from Armchair Expert in 2020, quoted saying, "She's the one that I was searching for my whole life, and everything not only changed but had to change in me if I was going to go that road." He added, "Meeting Nicole was like the ultimate fork in the road moment. It was literally like, you either get this right now or you are never, ever going to get it right. This is your one shot. And guess what? You fucking blew it, brother." So I don't know. I think it's his fault. I'm not going to say what I think it is, but I think it's fucking his fault, like for sure, because apparently there was some kind of clause in their marriage when they got married, or like at some point in their marriage or something, where like Nicole Kidman was like, "I will give you X amount of money for every year you're sober, but when you're not sober, it's fucking over, brother." And just the way that they cut ties so quickly like this, it's like, did the love dissipate or did something else happen? I don't know. I think it's also a little weird that he's getting only 59 days of the year with, I mean, one kid's only 17. So yeah, she's going to be like, doing her own thing or whatever at some point eventually. But 14 is still young. I mean, that's still at least 4 years until like 18. Not all kids move out of the house right at 18, like even when they're Nepo babies. So I don't know. Interesting. Don't know. But I wish the best to Nicole Kidman, of course, On to the next one, girl. Do your thing. All right. Next up on the docket, I wanted to talk about this briefly. This Ronnie Radke fucking disgrace, waste of life. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Okay?
Disgusting.
We've talked about this before on the podcast. Ronnie Radke harassing Brittany Furlan. And basically, I've already said what I think this whole catfish situation is. I truly believe it is my allegation and my personal opinion that this man catfished her, pretending to be himself. And once he got caught by Tommy Lee, he was terrified. So he ran with this like fucking story about how like, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was a catfish." And like,
Patricia and Dennis are very unstable. I'm not Dennis.
Nobody wants to be you bad enough that they're gonna use you as a catfish and be able to successfully reach Brittany Furlan. Let's be real here. There may be psychopaths, namely my ex, that I have a fucking permanent for life restraining order against. He idolizes Ronnie Radke, so let that speak for itself, okay? He's probably the only type of person out there that would use Ronnie Radke as a fucking blueprint for a catfish. Nobody with like fucking allegations that Ronnie Radke has against himself and the fucking reputation he has is like, you know what? I think I hate myself so much. I'm so ugly. I think I'm going to pose as this piece of shit instead of me as an ugly piece of shit. Understand this. If you're an ugly piece of shit, always go, if you're just ugly, it doesn't make you a piece of shit by default. Just be yourself, okay? You don't want to pose as this Trey Cyrus wannabe piece of shit. I mean, like, and it's like sad because it's like Trey Cyrus wants to be Machine Gun Kelly and Ronnie Radke wants to be Trey Cyrus. And it's just, I mean, it's like Machine Gun Kelly, Trey Cyrus, and then it's like Ronnie Radke. I mean, like, there's no. So anyway, let's talk about this a little bit. So Ronnie Radke is now continuing to harass Brittany Furlan. This is like almost a fucking year later. This is over. This started in May of last year. So we're coming up on a fucking year here. I mean, we're going to blink and it's fucking Christmas. So Ronnie Radke filed a temporary restraining order against Brittany Furlan saying that she was harassing him. And meanwhile, he's out here doing it to her, which is literally like what the guy that I got the permanent restraining order was doing to me. So just be patient, Brittany. Just stay patient. All your screenshots and your receipts and your evidence against this man, they will look at that in court And if he knows what's good for him, he will plead guilty and he will let you file the restraining order against him. Because if he fucking keeps trying to push and he escalates it to a point of being further criminal charges, he will serve jail time. So keep it up. Keep it up. Falling in reverse, yeah. Fucking, like, literally taking it. Talk about taking your band name way too fucking seriously, okay? So here we go. Brittany Ferland tried to counterfile Ronnie Radke filing the TRO. It was also denied. So both of their filings for TRO were both denied by the court clerk, because they were deemed non-emergency orders, because nothing was really like, he's not showing up places. He's not like, threatening things just yet. He's like riding that line of harassment. So like he is harassing, he's doing things of harassing nature. And basically, as long as she's got the proof and everything like that, she'll be able to get it. It might be something that like she might have to keep renewing every year though, unless he escalates to a point of like she fears for her life. And I really hope it does not escalate to that point. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. So that's why I was able to get a permanent one. So in new legal documentation, Brittany says that she was definitely communicating with Ronnie on Snapchat last year during a difficult time in her marriage with Tommy Lee, and they sent each other explicit pictures and videos and made plans to meet up. Ronnie claimed that Brittany was chatting with a catfish and everything was AI generated, but she obviously says that all communications were legit and couldn't have been AI generated because of the explicit nature of the content. Brittany says Ronnie begged her to leave Tommy for him. They made plans to meet up in May. She says Ronnie told her to go to his former address, and she claims she showed up, got stood up, and that's when he allegedly started intentionally humiliating and manipulating her. Brittany says that she told Tommy what happened, and he confronted Ronnie online. She says Ronnie then started spreading a false narrative that she was getting catfished. She says Ronnie then began annoying, harassing, and mocking her on social media and tried to humiliate her in a music video with a hideous body double. She says she wanted nothing more than to be left alone, but Ronnie started leaving cruel comments on her Instagram from a burner account. Sounds exactly like my ex as well. She says she told the person behind the account she knew it was Ronnie, and the person responded, "Miss you madly," and included a photo of her from their old Snapchat combo, which she says reinforced her conviction that it was Ronnie all along and not a catfish. Right there. Proof is in the pudding. And if she has all that proof right there, that's going to hold up in court. Like, they're going to see all that. I mean, he's one of those guys. He talks a big game online. He's trying to get the world to see her as like this evil villain, and like she's the one that's wronged him. And, I had a catfish, and they were impersonating me, and, I'm the one that's wrong. Whatever the fuck he's saying or whatever. Like, he's that guy that wants you to believe his narrative so bad. He will ruin her reputation. He will ruin her life. He will take her peace, and he will do all that just to win. He's fucking psycho, and quote me on that. Anyway, so I did want to add in here, Brittany did talk to TMZ, or at least had comments that were posted in this TMZ article saying that Ronnie is unhinged and obsessed with me, and she's simply just asking to be left alone by Ronnie so that she may live in peace. She wants the court to order Ronnie to stay at least 100 yards away from her home, and her car. A judge has yet to rule. And then that hearing will be on the 23rd, so this coming week. I did speak to Brittany on Instagram to see if she wanted to add anything, since I would be talking about it today on the podcast. And she just basically reiterated what I've basically already been saying. She just, wanted to say that, she doesn't understand how anyone believes what he's saying, which I don't either. I mean, consider the source. Look at who's saying this shit. And, he just continues to attack her, and her intention is to just be quiet right now, to see the court system through, make sure that she can get what she needs to get. Because, personally, from my own experience, the best thing you can do is just not engage, not talk about it, not antagonize, not do anything like that, because that is what escalates the situation, and the court will look at it as like, you antagonizing them. So as long as she just stays quiet, she'll be fine. And she also told me that she does have all supporting evidence and she's bringing everything to court. So justice will prevail, Brittany. So hang in there, girl. Hang in there, girl. Love you. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. And I'll give you guys an update on what's going on after Brittany's next court date hearing. Next up on the docket, we have something to talk about here that I thought was very interesting. Just a quick little article from the Hollywood Reporter. So Emma Stone sat down recently for a profile with W Magazine and was talking about her favorite reality TV show, which just so happens to be a Bravo reality show. Like all these celebrities so happen their favorite reality shows are just always on Bravo. I get it. So are mine. But what are the odds? All these like Oscar-winning actresses. Is it a coincidence? Does this mean I'm going to win an Academy Award someday? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. TBD. So, anyway, she said in this W Magazine profile that when Jen Shaw from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was being sentenced, she went to the courthouse to try to see her get sentenced.
Tell me why.
Now listen.
What?
I understand you're a fan of a reality show, but this woman literally defrauded people, elderly people and others, out of their entire life savings, their inheritances, if they had any money, like whatever, insurance, like everything that they had, she took from them to fuel her fucking lifestyle or whatever, so she could be on The Real Housewives and do all this shit, okay? And you still, in the midst of all that, wanted to go see her get sentenced because you were a fan, not because you wanted to see her go away and do time for her crimes. That's not what it says in this article. That's not what you said, girl. Something doesn't sit right in my spirit with that, Emma Stone. What do you mean you went to go see Jen Shaw get sentenced in New York City? I don't give a shit that you live in New York. That's irrelevant. She's like, I live in New York, so... Like, it was just like, oh, I heard about a new bagel place, and I decided to see what that was about because I wasn't doing anything that day. Girl, what? She, like, got up in the fucking freezing cold and stood outside for 2 hours waiting. So that's unwell behavior. You admitted that? Nobody knew. You admitted that. That's something. Makes you almost like think like, does Andy Cohen have like a contract with these people that like they have to say things like this? Like, what the fuck is going on? That's all for satire purpose, of course. But like, what the fuck, Emma Stone? Like, don't tell us things like this, because now I'm like, I don't even like you anymore. Now I'm like, I'm throwing Emma Stone out and Jennifer Lawrence is back in. So on to the next one. Okay, next up on the docket, I wanted to talk about this briefly because it's just a little quick, fun article. I totally missed this somehow when I was watching the Critics' Choice Awards, and I was watching the red carpet. I was even watching the red carpet for it and everything, and I fucking somehow missed it when Charlie Hunnam was talking about it. But I guess Charlie Hunnam talked to Justin Sylvester on the red carpet for the Critics' Choice Awards about how his longtime partner, girlfriend, Morgana McNeils, had asked him to stop using the Ed Gein voice when he was at home. So, like, this is just like giving Stephen King when he wouldn't stop playing Mambo No. 5, and his wife Tabitha was like, if you play that song one more time, I'm divorcing you. And I guess he was just like playing it like repeatedly. Like he wouldn't like, he was like obsessing over it. But like, honestly, I understand. I mean, it's a good song. It's a good song. I've taken a copyright, like, it's not a strike, but like, it's like one of those, like, it's a claim. So like they recognize the clip of the song. So I can't ever monetize on the video. And if the video does get monetized on, like they make something or something, whatever the fuck it means. I don't know. So I've taken a hit for Mambo number 5. So I get it. But I thought this was interesting because Justin Sylvester asked him during the pre-show if Morgana had asked him to stop using the murderer's voice around the house while he was preparing to film. And Charlie Hunnam did say she did. I was slipping in and out of it all the time. And she was saying, dude, you have to stop with the voice. At breakfast, it's a little too much. I think that shit's so funny. Like, could you imagine? Like, oh my God. Like, I'd just be like, all right. She's like, hello, can you get... I don't even know what he sounds like because I didn't watch the show. So I'm just like doing a voice that I think Ed Gein would sound like. Just like, it sounds like salad fingers. Like, I was like, where does that sound familiar? Like, I like the feeling of rusty spoons against my salad fingers. I could do it. Bring it back. I'll do the voice. I'll bring it. I'll be salad fingers. Where's he at? Probably committed suicide. But I mean, that show was so fucking crazy. Anyway, so let's go on to the next thing here because the next thing is, another wild one. Like who threw this code into the simulation? I want to know. Okay, so DMX. Rest in peace to DMX, that passed away at 50 years old from a heart attack, rapper, we know. He has posthumously been ordained as a minister. I don't know how you do that. Like, I mean, what does a posthumous minister do? Now, does he have like other responsibilities in the afterlife? Like, was he aware of this? Is he all right with it? Yeah, I just hope that DMX isn't like having to do any kind of extra work in the afterlife now that he's been posthumously ordained as a minister. That'd be really fucked up. You're just trying to like rest. And they're like, you're a minister now. So you're going to have to go talk to the people out there. And he's like, well, man, can I just chill? Man, can I just chill? That's probably what he said. Beefing with my chick while I'm in jail. Anyway, that wasn't DMX, but anyway. Yeah. So nearly 5 years after his death, the spiritual legacy of rap legend DMX, also known as Earl Simmons, they would play him like that, was honored at the Christ Episcopal Church in Tarrytown. He was remembered for his success as a rapper, songwriter, and actor, but also his spiritual journey as a Christian and the inclusion of prayers on each of his albums. Religion was always with him, but was more pronounced as he got older. This is a fitting tribute for him and his family, said Michael Drake of Harlem. The posthumous ordination of DMX as a minister is the brainchild of Bishop Dr. Osiris Imhotep of the Gospel Cultural Center in Tarrytown. How many people knew that he was a deacon before he passed? At that moment, he was a deacon. He was doing Bible study when COVID was here, he said. DMX died of a heart attack at White Plains Hospital at the age of 50 and is buried at Oakland Cemetery in Yonkers. His accolades include an American Music Award, a Billboard Music Award, and 6 Grammy nominations. His ordination is described by supporters as a symbolic gesture. So, I mean, yeah, it's nice, but I hope he's not doing extra work out there. That's what I'm saying. So, fuck. I mean, shit. I hope they don't do that stuff to me. Like, they like honor me like posthumously, like in some like fashion like that. They're like, it's like she's been, posthumously like named. I don't know. It'd be something negative anyway. It wouldn't be something positive like a minister anyway. So anyway, let's go on to the next one. Yeah, I think it's time. Because I want to talk about this because, like, I support the message, but I'm also, like, suspicious. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Buddhist monks that are walking 2,300 miles from Texas to the White House in Washington, D.C. So There's about a dozen monks that I'm not even going to try to say it, but they are from the Bhavana Center in Fort Worth, led by Panakara, walking 2,300 miles to promote national healing, unity, and compassion. The journey began on October 26th, and it's due to end on February 12th. So, like, it's mostly getting covered by local news. You might you might see something from your local paper or something like that. They were recently passing through Columbia, South Carolina. I saw them. They were just in Charlotte, after that. So, anyway, so they're walking, not to protest, but to awaken the peace that already lives within each of us. The Walk for Peace is a simple yet meaningful reminder that unity and kindness begin within each of us and can radiate outwards to families, communities, and society as a whole. The monks are crossing 10 United States as part of their journey and were most recently in South Carolina. Why do I sound like I'm dying? The group will stop at state capitals, historic landmarks, and local communities to share their message and invite moments of reflection. This walk is more than a journey. It is a heartfelt offering to the community. Walk for Peace invites all people, regardless of faith, culture, or background, to come together in the spirit of compassion, mutual respect, and understanding. The monks wrote in a blog post titled "Why We Walk," "Our walking itself cannot create peace, but when someone encounters us, whether by the roadside, online, or through a friend, when our message touches something deep within them, when it awakens the peace that has always lived quietly in their own heart, something sacred begins to unfold. This is our contribution, not to force peace upon the world, but to help nurture it, one awakened heart at a time." In Georgia, children gifted the monks flowers. They crossed the bridge in Selma, Alabama from Bloody Sunday. They have a dog that is a stray dog that they adopted along the way called Aloka, which means light. Aloka had to undergo leg surgery, so Aloka is not on the route right now, but will rejoin them once healed. And then also, this isn't the first time they've done this. It started in 1992 with peace walks originating in Cambodia during the repatriation of refugees from the Thai border camps amid the I'm not even saying it. Rouge, according to a paper published by Catherine, a professor of global studies at California State University. Following the 1992 walk, the event became an annual tradition in Cambodia. In the second walk, an estimated of 3,000 people joined the procession. Those participants faced shelling and crossfire. In the third walk, which traversed through a war zone in western Cambodia, a monk and a nun lost their lives. I wanted to say, I think this is great. I think that walking for peace is awesome. Anything for peace is great. I think it's great to spread that, but I think, I'm an eternal, realist and also, kind of a pessimist where, I have seen the darkest sides of people and how opportunistic they can be. And I personally have my own afflictions about religion and how it is used to do those things exactly. And I did not read this in the beginning of the article, but within the first paragraph of this article, it mentions that the center that's walking in this peace walk is walking toward the future site of a Buddhist temple that they plan on building. And they're trying to raise $200 million to build this temple that will span 14 acres, have 840 Buddhist monuments, and whatever else. So that's great if Buddhists are donating to that, but I hope they're not like using this walk as a means of like, preying on people's like hopes and prayers and wishes for things to get better and want and true need for peace as a means to get money to just build another fucking temple, because that's like, what a big mega church would do, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, walk for peace. Go see the monks when they come to your city, if they do. In the Northeast, they're coming your way. Okay, we got like a few more topics here, but I want to cover this real quick. So I thought this was really sweet. Janelle James, she is an actress on Abbott Elementary. If you are not familiar with her, she is hilarious. She was kind of like a struggling comedian for a long time. She was helping Chris Rock out on the road and stuff like that when he was in his like, touring days and everything like that. Let's just get into it because I think it's really sweet. All right. Janelle James, Abbott Elementary actress, shared that she was poor when she supported the Saturday Night Live alum on his Total Blackout tour in 2017. She said her boots were dusty and her cardigan was worn to threads. James said that she was used to looking bad and attract less unwanted attention as a female comedian, adding that wearing miniskirts early in her career got her certain remarks. For a while, she said she forgot who she was. During the first leg of the tour in the South, she said that she noticed Chris Rock staring at her worn-out boots. She received an invitation from Chris Rock's assistant to fly to Los Angeles to get glammed up soon after. I didn't take it any kind of way, she said. I was like, this is amazing, like Pretty Woman or whatever. And like the 1990 rom-com, James was presented with racks of luxury clothing to choose from, noting that she had never seen things that expensive. She felt proud showing her new look to Rock, but was grateful when he didn't mention the generous gesture to her directly. He didn't say anything, which I appreciate, she said. It wasn't like, see what I've done for you. He just looked at me. He said, you're doing well for yourself. That's what he said. And then we continued on with the tour. So yeah, I think that's fucking amazing. I think that's like the coolest thing I've yet to hear. And, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. I hear things about fucking, we just talking about Will Smith doing fucking weird shit. Or like, getting accused of weird shit, and here's Chris Rock just buying wardrobes for people that he sees like struggling and he doesn't even say anything. He's just like, I want to help her, but I don't want to make her feel bad about it. And never brought it up. Never said anything. No one ever knew. And no one would have ever known until she told us. So I am Team Chris Rock. And I will leave it at that. But I want to get into this next story because this is a fun one, you guys. Fun one. Okay. So this is for all my millennials out there. For anybody who was specifically in middle school during the years of like 2003 to 2006, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you. So this article from Complex, this is the headline. Mike Jones thanks fans for still calling phone number. Says it's connected with me for life. So here we go. If you don't know, you're about to know. So here we go. Thanks to all y'all who believed. Mike Jones said. For readers of a certain age, there's a phone number that remains deeply ingrained in the subconscious, standing tall as perhaps the only number ever fully committed to memory. You know the one.
Now 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, cause Mike Jones about to blow.
Immortalized in the music and merch of Houston rap legend Mike Jones, the number has continued to provide fans and hopeful collaborators alike a chance to potentially connect with the man himself for more than 2 decades. While the number was at one point not affiliated with Jones, it has more recently returned to its rightful owner as confirmed in multiple updates over the past few years. The number was ringing back to back before it came out of the box, Jones told fans in an Instagram update on January 6th. This number is connected with me for life. LMAO. Thanks to all y'all who believed, who still call to this day. Some call just to say what's up, and some call just to say thank you. Some call for shows and features, but I may go live and just take calls from fans live so y'all can see and feel the organic love that comes through this phone. Back in January 2025, Jones, who has multiple gold and platinum certifications from the RIAA to his own name, elaborated on the intentions behind sharing his number far and wide despite the presumed hassle. One reason for the push, particularly earlier in his career, was to prevent fans from falling for fake shows and fraudulent promoters. I wanted to be accessible and hands-on with my fans and supporters, he said at the time. This March, Jones is on the bill for the Paul Wall Birthday Bash event in Houston and is on the lineup alongside fellow Texas icons Paul Wall and Slim Thug. So you can see him in March doing that in Houston. So if you want to go see... Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot, hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot, hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot, hoes all on me. 281-330-8004. Yo, Mike Jones up on the low, because Mike Jones about to blow. That's where he'll be in March. So, on to the next one.
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me.
All right, this one's a little fucking weird. I think it's like so dumb. I think this Uber driver or something is like trying to just get a quick payout. So, actor Kiefer Sutherland has been arrested for allegedly assaulting a rideshare driver in Hollywood, per KTLA. So, Kiefer Sutherland was arrested after he was allegedly Kiefer. I seen you with Kiefer. Kiefer Sutherland was allegedly, what the fuck? Am I having a stroke? Kiefer Sutherland was arrested for allegedly assaulting a rideshare driver in Hollywood on January 10th, when LAPD officers responded to reports of assaults near Sunset Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue around 12:15 a.m. Kiefer Sutherland, as we know, best known for his roles on, 24, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, Young Guns, A Few Good Men. We could go on. Following an investigation, police said Sutherland, 59, had reportedly entered a rideshare vehicle and physically assaulted the driver while making criminal threats. Sutherland was arrested at the scene. The victim did not sustain any injuries requiring medical treatment at the scene, authorities said. Details on the motive or circumstances leading up to the violent confrontation were not released, and Sutherland was later released on a $50,000 bond. A court hearing is scheduled for February 2nd, so I'll let you know what's going on with that. The incident is obviously still under investigation at the LAPD's Hollywood division. So I don't know what's going on with that, good luck to you, Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know if what the he was quoted saying I'll break your legs off or something, something crazy. I don't know why the quote wasn't in there. Let me see if I can find it. I just realized that it wasn't in there, but he said something wild to the dude, or allegedly said something wild to the dude. And I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why would he say that? But also what did the dude say to him to get him to say that? Kiefer Sutherland didn't just get in an Uber and say I'm gonna fucking kill you. It says that the Uber driver claimed that it says here that per Rolling Stone, law enforcement sources reportedly told TMZ that the Uber driver claimed Sutherland threatened to kill him if he didn't pull over. So I don't know what transpired leading up to that, but that's interesting. The TMZ article is it just says that he's if you don't pull over, I'll kill you. Yeah, allegedly. That's what he's saying. I don't know. What goes on in Hollywood? Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Okay, I wanted to briefly talk about this because I think, it's something we all need to talk about. I think all men that are out there really need to know, when you get to a certain age, it's okay to, not dye your hair anymore. people talk about Paul Rudd never aging. Look at his skin. He's tired. And you know why he's so tired? It's because you guys are pressuring him to continue to dye his hair. You keep saying Paul Rudd is so young. Paul Rudd never ages. Yeah, well, now he feels like he can't age. Now he feels like he has to keep dyeing his hair because the second the gray starts showing, it'll be, oh, Paul Rudd is dead. They're going to start killing him off on Twitter like they do in like those, or X, whatever it is now. You know what I'm talking about. It's never going to be X. We can say X, but is it ever going to be? No. So, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going gray. Steve Martin did it when he was 9 years old. There's nothing wrong. I mean, he went full on white. And then that guy Max from Catfish, same shit happened to him. Fucking it happens. Sometimes you just fucking go, you know, I mean, there's genetic, you know. It could be worse. You could have no fucking hair. How about that? How about that? You could be fucking bald. You could be fucking Bret Michaels walking around in a bandana wig. How about that? You could be fucking, you could be Christy Nome walking around in a cowboy hat wig. You know? Things could always be worse. Okay? So just let yourself just, you know, go gray. Go white. You know, shave it off. Anything is better than just like, I'm going to just keep dyeing this. I'm just going to keep dyeing this. Or like you trying to hold on to the last few strands that are like up here and like the rest of your hair is back here and it looks like a fucking, looks like somebody scalped you. I don't know. I mean, you know, there's ways to do it. But like, I think it's, just let it go. Let it go, let it go. Okay, anyway, so John Stamos, recent victim of, you know, getting old. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, you know. So John Stamos, I came across this when I was scrolling, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He posted a video on his Instagram that he has added blonde highlights in like the front. When you're feeling sad and low. Of his hair. Colors of the world, every boy, every girl. I'm leaving, never looking back again. Tell me why. Why? Yeah, so he did that, you know, and, yeah, you know, I think John Stamos would look great with a full head of gray hair. Let it go, man. It's like, you know, Tony Goldwyn would also look great with a full head of gray hair. I mean, like I said, you know, you know, it could be so much worse. Just fucking let it go. Just let it go. What the fuck is going on here? There we go. Just let it go, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Men are so preoccupied on the most, like, mundane of things in the grand scheme of it all. Like, nobody gives a fuck that you are having gray hairs pop up on your head. No one fucking cares. Are you a good person? Do you have a record? And what's on the record? Do your children talk to you if you have them? Do you cheat? Are you a liar? Are you a degenerate gambler? I mean, like, these are, like, important questions to ask. Not, oh, did I see a gray? No, can't have that. Can't have that now. Bitch, we all gonna go to the grave someday. We're all gonna be gray someday. All right? So, get over it. Men are so fucking vain. You're so vain. I bet you think this podcast's about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this podcast's about you. Don't you? Don't you? Okay, let's go on. All right, so Amanda Seyfried, whatever the hell it is. I got an itch. She recently sat down with Deadline.com and was talking about upcoming projects that she has going on, but I'm not talking about any of that other part of the article. I'm sorry, Amanda. I'm sure whatever you're coming out with, it's going to be great, and I will definitely watch it and support for sure. So I wanted to talk about something specifically in this interview because it was very, like, looked over. And I saw it come up on other outlets that were pulling from the article, and I wanted to see it in the actual article. And the Deadline article, they made it seem like it was just, like, no big deal. It was another Tuesday to them. So I didn't know this, but apparently there's been, like, rumor and some kind of dark web-esque story floating around for years about the Dear John set with Channing Tatum and Amanda Seyfried, and Channing Tatum allegedly pissing on Amanda Seyfried's leg. What? First of all, A, how did I not know? B, what? And C, why does every fucking movie set have to have, like, some kind of fucking weird trauma? Like, and if you don't think this is traumatizing, then this is like assault. This is borderline assault. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit who it is. I don't give a shit if it was Channing Tatum. She's the man, Channing Tatum. I said, hey! I don't give a shit if it was that. Do not piss on my leg. Accident, purposeful, nothing. I don't want to see not a shit coming out of your little ding-a-ling. All right, so, or a piss, whatever. So, in this article, it just says, this is how it segues from Deadline. And that Channing Tatum story, it happened on the set of the 2010 movie Dear John. He and I effed with each other the entire movie in a super, super fun way, she said. He's very, very funny, and we had a great time. And get ready for the next part, it says. He peed on my leg once.
Now who the fuck did that?
Without me knowing. He peed on my leg on the beach. And I didn't realize at first. And then I was like, oh, that's why he's standing so close to me. There was a coffee cup very close by, and a little bit got in the coffee cup. And he ran away as I was screaming. One of the makeup artists picked it up and was about to drink it, and I saved her. And that's all it fucking says. I have so many questions. I have so many fucking questions, you guys. I have so many fucking questions because none of that ever fucking, like, specified what the hell was going on, okay? Let me see if I can fix this before I continue so I don't fucking fidget with it while I'm talking, okay? So, oh my God, I'm hungry. I need to eat. My stomach is like, anyway. I have so many questions, okay? Okay, so from what it sounds like to me, right? It sounds like he was deliberately pissing on her leg?
I said forget about it, cuz.
Right?
I'm dating a guy with the funkiest tasting spunk.
Scary.
Peed on my leg on the beach, and I didn't realize it first, and then I was like, oh, that's why he's standing so close to me. So this was a deliberate piss. This was a deliberate pissing. He should be a registered sex offender. This is crazy. This is crazy. What? The hair. Help. Anyway, so what do you mean? Oh, that's why he's standing so close. It makes perfect sense. Oh, he's standing so close to me because he's pissing on my leg.
Jesse!
Or he's pissing on my leg because he's standing so close to me. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I need to know. She doesn't say what he said or did or said, where's Channing Tatum? Can we get him on the horn? I need to know, brother, what was going through the noggin that day?
No, you are gross, and you set me up.
Hello? I'm very curious to know because this is some fucking weird shit. This is dark fucking times. Somebody check on Amanda Seyfried. Somebody make sure that she's good to go. Maybe the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives need to call her up and give her some ketamine therapy because, hello? And then a little got in the coffee cup that was sitting there. Where does the coffee cup come into play? Whose coffee cup was it? Was it Amanda's? Why was the person on set going to drink out of it? I have so many other questions. Deadline dropped the fucking ball on this one because not a further thing gets explained in it. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but that was just like my what the fuck of the day because it was only supposed to be 13 stories today. And then this came up on my feed and I was like,
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
I got to tell you. So, I mean, here we are. But, you know, that was a fun one, guys. But that's about it. Right? Well, that's a wrap on this 51st episode of the Pop Cultured News. I hope you had as much fun as I did, keeping you as updated and as pop cultured as I physically can. You know I do it all for you and the love and support you keep on giving me. I'm so loved. You really love me.
You love me. You really love me.
I'm so grateful. Keep on spreading the good word and don't forget to turn on your automatic downloads wherever you have your podcasts. I just recently switched over to Acast. So at the Acast, thank you so much for hosting me now on your platform. Thank you for Buzzsprout for hosting me for the last 2.5 years and coming up on the 3rd year of the Bumba.cast this year. So thank you, Acast, for hosting me here. This will be my first Acast episode. Hopefully you guys get it. All right. But if you're not following me on social media, what's your damage? That's at Bumba.cast for Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, as well as right here on YouTube, Patreon, Substack. And I think that's it, right? At the Bumba.cast pod. So, until next time, I'll see you soon, my little Bumbabees.